Hey, it's Tim from Tiki Boom Design. We're going to be going over how to make this very cool typography illustration. Let's roll. Let's get started by breaking down this typography illustration. So it looks kind of complicated, but it really isn't. We got one path, which is the spine, we're going to call it, and it's one continuous path. Then we have one shape, which is a circle that has a gradient. And then we have this ending circle, which has another gradient. These circles will blend together along this path. These little flare things on the outside, these are just an offset path of what we're going to call a spine here. Then we have another layer that is mimicking lighting, and then we have another layer for texture. Now that we've broken down how this works, let's go ahead and actually do it. So let's have some fun here. So what I've done is I've done this typography in Procreate and then traced it and made some final adjustments here in Illustrator. So this is one continuous path. So this is going to be really important for this blend technique to work. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do Command C and then Command V, and we're going to put it off to the side. We're going to take it off the canvas. So we're just doing that so we can use this later for the flare, so we can make the offset path. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an ellipse. So I'm going to activate the ellipse tool, make an ellipse. I believe the size that I did in the illustration above here was 51 pixel size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sample this gradient. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do is Command C and Command F, which is paste in place. And I'm just going to put this circle, and I'm going to go ahead and sample this gradient here. Now, keep in mind, you can do whatever gradient, whatever colors that you want to do. I'm just showing how to do it this way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to activate the blend tool. So we're going to come over here to the blend tool, which is this little icon. You can also find it under Object, Blend, and Make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it with the icon here. So we just do the blend tool, which is W, and you click one shape and then you click another shape and it creates the blend. Great, we got the blend. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select the blend and this continuous path typography that we made, and we're going to go up to Object, and we're going to go up to Blend, and then we're going to go to Replace Spine. And now, as you can tell there, this blend is now going along this spine. So now you can see why it was super important to make this spine here continuous. Then what you can do is you can go to double click the blend tool and get the blend options. Again, you can go up to Object, Blend, and Blend Options. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Specify Distance. So as you can tell, just right off the bat, that made it incredibly better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 pixel specify distance. And what this is basically doing is this is saying, I want these shapes along this path to be 1 pixel distance between each other, which creates the illusion here of this kind of 3D illustration. Awesome. So that was pretty easy. One thing you'll notice is that it kind of looks like the H, and the whole cursive line goes from the H with the O being in the back. So we can do that easily. As you can tell here, you still have your initial 3 shapes. So we got this circle, and we're going to go ahead and bring that to the front. And that was Command Shift forward bracket. And now it is mimicking better what we did up there. Okay, so a really cool thing to think about is lighting. So the lighting is going to be dictated by the gradient in each one of these circles. So if we have this circle selected and we go up to the gradient tool, you're going to see that you can adjust the angle. So if we go to 20 degrees, it changes everything a little bit, and it changes the blend all throughout. And then if we go to this circle, and let's say we go on that one as 20 degrees, now it's creating a really interesting sort of different light source. So it's almost like it's coming from this direction. So that's really neat. And you can go ahead and choose whatever options you want to do. You could have these be solid colors if you'd like. All right, so next, let's go ahead and create the flare. This is kind of the tedious work a little bit, but it pays off so much. I'm going to bring this to the front, Shift Command forward bracket. We're going to center it on the canvas here. We're going to go up to Object, and we're going to go to Path, and then I'm going to do Offset Path. I'm going to do 40, and then the join. Usually it's on miter, but we're going to make it round, so that way it'll round here at the end. And then I'm going to take this middle spine, and I'm going to go ahead and shift it over to here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select all of this, and I'm going to go up to Object and Compound Path and Release. And then as you can tell, now we can do each of these little parts here. So I'm going to actually delete this part. And so first, let's just go ahead and do this one. We'll go through the process of creating this flare, and then I will time lapse it. So let's do this. So I'm going to do plus, and this is basically going to create nodes here. And I'm going to do a plus there, and I'm going to delete and delete. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the gradient, and I'm going to activate this gradient. So there we go. So as you can tell here, this gradient basically looks like it's coming out of the shadow, because this first stop is the background color, and the second stop is a version of this blue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make it round cap, round corner, 3 pixels, and I'm going to go ahead and do a profile, this profile. So this gives it just kind of a little bit more depth. All right, so I'm going to do the rest, and I'm going to start the time lapse now. We got our flare done. Now let's put some little bit of magic touches on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this background block here. I'm going to do Command C, Command F, bring it all the way to the front. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. We're going to select this swatch right here. And what this has basically done is it has put it to overlay 100%, and it's using this gradient. So as you can tell here, by doing light to dark and being overlay, it accentuates the highlights and accentuates the shadowing. For our final touch, let's put a little bit of texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this lighting overlay, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it, so Command 2. I'm going to take this little color block back here, I'm going to make a copy and then paste in place. I'm going to bring it all the way to the front. And what we're going to be doing is using this shape as a mask. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a texture. And I'm looking through here, this is a texture set that we made, and these are recolorable, which is cool. So they're recolorable TIFFs. So I'm going to go ahead and place this one and just make it that size right there. Yeah, we can do that. And as you can tell here, it's above everything, and it's kind of bleeding out. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to the back. So I just did Command Shift back bracket. I'm going to select this texture and this rectangle that we just made. I'm going to do Command 7. And there we go. So it's adding a little bit of wonderful magic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and select the texture. So I'm doing the direct select tool within the mask. And all you have to do is just do the eyedropper tool, and you can go ahead and select that. As you can tell here, it changes. Let me actually make sure that it's changing. Let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you have the texture selected. And let's just choose this blue. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this background color, and let's go ahead and make sure it's centered on the artboard. And then we're going to go ahead and do overlay. And then I'm going to do like 35%. And then it just adds a very subtle texture, so you could adjust as you want. That's it. Hope this has been fun. Hope you got some inspiration, and have fun with your typography illustrations. Bye. Hey, this kitty wants you to like this video, subscribe, get notifications, just do what the kitty wants. Bye.